Xiaomi's phones are undoubtedly among the most popular phones in India, and leading from the front is their Redmi Note series. The 3 did well and the 4 outdid the 3. With the expectations soaring high on the 5, Xiaomi had its work cut out. So is this Note 5 a worthy successor to the largest selling smartphone of 2017? Should you upgrade if you have the Note 4? And how does it compare with the several others in this price range? This and many more questions are what we will try to answer in this detailed review of the Redmi Note 5 coming up next on TechPP.com. Hey folks, this is GK from TechPP, and for more interesting videos, make sure you've hit that subscribe button and hit the bell icon while you're at that. So let's begin with the design. While most of the design resembles the Note 4, there are a couple of differences, some subtle and one that is very obvious. Starting from the back, the shiny antenna lines are gone and the camera is no more flat with a tiny bump out there. And the Note 5 is few millimeters taller than the Note 4. And that is because of the screen. With the 18:9 aspect ratio, the Note series has got a new look. The trio of hardware keys make way for the taller display. Also something new is the LED flash for selfies. The notification LED is brighter than the one we saw on the Redmi Note 4. The buttons on the sides are well built and the phone feels really good in the hand, and this is because of the phone being thinner than the Note 4 and less bulkier as well. This one is the black variant, and from what we hear, that's the only variant that will be available at launch. The Note now sports a larger 5.99-inch display with the bezels going thin, and the overall experience is much better. No more accidentally tapping the hardware keys when you move into the landscape mode, which is a huge delight. The display has very good viewing angles and decent visibility under the sunlight as well, with options such as reading mode, toggles for changing the color tones, and the display had no issues whatsoever, though it wouldn't wow you like those AMOLED screens. While the display itself is a refreshing experience for the Redmi Note series, what has not been refreshed are the things that run the phone from within. The Note 5 sports the same old 625 SoC with 332 or 464 storage combinations. While the processor itself isn't bad at all, the mere fact that it's almost 2 years old may disappoint many people. The performance, however, is more or less identical to the Note 4, which is not bad. The RAM management is slightly inconsistent, especially when you open more apps. It gives you a notion of it's open, but then when you try to open it, it starts reloading again. Though the RAM has bandwidth, at times the operating system is aggressive in closing the apps. Hopefully, Xiaomi should be able to address this in one of the fixes that they'll do. The day-to-day tasks were smooth and easy for the MIUI 9, and the usual suspects of the theme store, the dual apps and so on worked well. Heavy titles like Asphalt 8 posed no issues to the phone, but we did see those occasional frame drops. Sadly, the phone still runs on Android Nougat with no sight of Oreo anytime soon. The phone does get warm on extended gameplay. The loudspeaker does get loud, but beyond 50% volume, there is a significant amount of distortion. Packing a 4000 mAh battery, which is similar to its predecessor, the Redmi Note 5 will run for a full working day no matter what load you're going to throw at it. Going from 0 to 100 in a little more than 2.15 hours, we observed the screen on times ranging anywhere between 6.5 to 8 hours based on varied usage patterns. If not 2 full working days, you can bank on the Note 5 for at least a day and a half for normal usage patterns. If we compare the performance of the Note 4, there is an endurance drop of say 10 or 15%, but it also gives you a taller screen and slightly thinner phone. Like the 18:9 displays, dual camera setups are a rage these days across all categories almost. How they perform is a different question though, but it's a mindset that has been established for folks to make their purchase decisions. And this is where we feel Xiaomi is taking a risk with just one 12 megapixel primary camera with an LED flash accompanying it, but then with larger pixels. This means there is no bokeh or the portrait mode, but the overall performance is an improvement from the Redmi Note 4. Focusing speeds are way better, colors are more natural and accurate. The video performance is more or less the same with the same issues as before, like the focus hunting while you're panning and so on and so forth. The front-facing camera now has a flash for the low-light photography and can produce decent results. One aspect we were super surprised is the improvement on the fingerprint scanner. It's super fast. It's accurate 9 out of 10 times and work on different variations too. Alright then, coming to the question now. Is the Note 5 good? No doubt whatsoever, it's a bang for your buck. The fact that Xiaomi has taken care of bringing in lots of subtle improvements, but critical ones at that, is really appreciable. But it loses out on the dual cameras, and like we mentioned before, it's gonna be a mindset block for many. Also, the processor is still stuck at Snapdragon 625, which we've already seen on way too many Xiaomi phones already. For those guys, there is a Redmi Note 5 Pro, which we have reviewed as well. Speaking of which, is it worth an upgrade from the Note 4? Don't really think so, unless you're really crazy about the new screen, slightly improved camera. So that's it for the video guys. We hope you really like this. Give it a thumbs up if you dare, and don't forget to share it with your friends and family who might find this useful. Do check out the related videos, links and everything in the description below. So until the next time, may the tech be with you always.